so many rules in 40K, hundreds of events, and constant updates. Skip the learning curve of Warhammer and join the pros. Art of War is led by multiple world champions with decades of success. We teach clinics, stream games, and inspire you to succeed at your favorite hobby. Join our global community of gamers just like you.
Welcome to Fix My List.
What's up, everyone? We are here, and you know what? It's a good Friday.
It's a good Friday to fix lists. Rules came out yesterday. It's the only thing people care about. It's the only thing 40K people care about. They just want more rules. They're like, put it in my veins now.
However, once they get new rules, the only thing they want then is old rules.
No, that's you. You're the only one who wants to play
That's
LVO,
LVO, man. I don't know what to tell you.
LVO, I saw a comment that was LVO follow its own rules challenge, parentheses, difficulty impossible. But anyway, moving on. Let's talk about new things.
New things all day. I'm hyped for this. We are, I haven't fixed lists in a while, Jack. I've seen these lists, and you've been doing a good job fixing them.
But the king is back. The king is here.
You know what? I wasn't even going to say that. I was just going to say that I wanted to help out.
The old Roman emperor whose face is on a coin with a gigantic.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I need to shave a little bit too, but my man, yeah. you've gone full.
I don't need to shave at all.
Full Bushman.
It's all right. I'm just gonna go wild, man. It's all right.
That's right.
But yeah, I'm excited for this.
The Aussies maybe in the outback. They might take you.
Maybe. Honestly, if they're smart, they won't. But yeah, they're Australians, so you never know.
They are Australians. Yes. There is a Tyranid list in here.
Yeah, you can probably tell what the first list is going to be because it's here. Ooh. But guaranteed there are Tyranids coming. And don't worry, Bobby, there is a light at the end of the very dark, long, painfully nerfed tunnel. Pretty rough out there, but we're going to fix the lists.
There's lists. They're going to be fixed. They've got to be fixed.
Yeah.
Who else is going to fix them? It's a dirty job, but somebody's got to do it.
Absolutely.
All right, let's get to some Iron Hands.
Well, should we tell people how they get their lists fixed?
Oh, that's a great idea,
Yeah,
John.
I think we should mention that.
Yeah.
So you may notice that we're pulling these lists, and they have names on them, and these are the names of people who are in the Art of War Discord, which, of course, is a wonderful place to be, and that's how you submit your list to get fixed. And if you want to become a part of that Discord and the Worm in general, make sure you check out the links below. And make sure that you, let's see, Nicholas Ansfeld says, I hope it's mine. I will find out soon.
We will find out together, won't we? Keep
together.
Watching.
All right. But, yeah, so make sure you check out the link below. You can get onto our website, theartofwar40k.com. Get in the Art of War Discord if you're a member of our community. Boom. That's how you submit your lists.
Easy as that. Also, a little flattery goes a long way. I'm the one who selects the list, so just keep that in mind.
Absolutely, absolutely true. The most handsome member of Art of War picks the lists, so make sure you let them know. Preferably in the comment section. We do like getting those likes, the subscriptions, the comments. All those things help us make this kind of content and help us talk about these Iron Hands.
Yep. Oh, yeah, Bobby, that painting 20 spore mines, I'm glad you don't have to do that anymore.
Huh.
That was explicitly aimed at John. Andy Downs, welcome to the War Room. Glad to have you here.
Hey, welcome. Glad to have you, Andy. And you know what? Those spore mines were worth it. I'm going to go paint more.
Right.
Now I have to start painting Euclids.
So all of this is going to be new points, new rules, new Arcs of Omen detachment, the whole 9 yards. Like, everything that's new, we're using it, we're doing it, because you're going to be using it in the future at your events, or at your kitchen table, or at your local game store, whatever. You're going to be using the new rules, so we should fix your list to that.
One could even say we have a foot in the future.
You could.
I could say that, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I will be playing with Foot in the future later today, I believe in the War Room.
There you go.
Against Richard's Tau. All right, Iron Hands. Let's do some Iron Hands. So, WhatAreFrogs says, Oh Mighty Jack, which is like a great template.
Yeah, it's a good intro.
Please show me the way to making my beloved metal-handed men good again. Idea is a Redemptor Castle marching midfield, Wisdom of the Ancients, Wrath of the Ancients, WATA, W-O-T-A. I think it's
Wisdom of the Ancients.
Wisdom of the Ancients give reroll 1s to wound alongside doctrines. Warlord Tech Marine sits near Astraeus and or Gladiators to give Ironstone buff, depending on whether Astraeus is ever in danger. You take Codex Warfare and Banners and Cold Fury, or Grind and Shoot. Las Rippers are to make use of damage reroll from target protocols and to give some damage outside of flat 3. And then he has the meme of that guy from Ancient Aliens kind of going like this and just says guns. Which I feel like is in the spirit of the list.
Codex Warfare is totally not the same category as the Cold Annihilation, Cold Fury thing. That's so tough.
Wait, they're not?
No, they're not.
It's so
yeah, one's no mercy, one's per.
So wait, every kill you get is just 4 points?
I think it's 3. It's still, yeah, it's pretty good. Just anyways, start blasting.
Yeah, so Codex Warfare changed, which, we have a whole video on all the changes that came out, but if you want the TLDR, Codex Warfare changed. First off, Space Marines can just stay in Devastator Doctrine the entire game.
Yeah, that's going to help this list.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good for this list. And also, Codex Warfare is no longer capped at 5 per category, so it's 2 points for every time you kill an enemy with a heavy or grenade weapon while you're in Dev Doctrine. 1 point for every kill you with a tactical and assault weapon in Tactical Doctrine. And then 1 point for every kill with melee or pistols in Assault Doctrine. And you can just stay in Dev Doctrine the entire game, and every kill you get is 2 points. Codex Warfare, great.
Codex Warfare, pretty solid.
It's pretty cracked.
Yeah, so just shoot people with heavy weapons, which this list does have at least 3 of.
It has quite a few, honestly.
3, minimum.
Yeah. So that's a great secondary. And then the Do Things with Tanks secondary is pretty good. Cold Fury.
Yeah, I think Cold Fury is the name. It's the Iron Hand secondary. It's 1 point for each of 4 check marks that you get. Actually, that's what it was in the old book. I don't even know.
I think it was that. I think it's
one
for every kill you get, 1 for whatever. The point
is, it's a kill
is
in shooting. It's a kill in combat. It's get a vehicle in your opponent's deployment zone. Get a vehicle in the center of the battlefield.
Yeah, and all that has to be done with vehicles, right?
Yeah, just with vehicles, non-flyers for the movement ones, but anyone can get the kill in shooting combat.
That is a gross combination of secondaries.
It's pretty good.
It's literally just shoot your opponent to death and find points in their corpses.
Yeah, that's where they're hiding. You ever play Legend of Zelda? You go around breaking pots and getting gold coins.
Yeah, you shoot them to death.
Mario going and punching bricks and watching what falls out. That's what you're doing.
Cool. Well, to that end, you got an Astraeus in here, and if you have an Astraeus, you're playing an Astraeus. So we're not taking that out.
Absolutely not. If you put an Astraeus in this list, it deserves to stay because you have one.
Yeah, you own one, and I'm sorry, but So you better use it at this point.
Absolutely. So things that I like here, I love Primaris Tech Marines because they're baller.
Yeah.
All Tech Marines are great, actually. I love Infiltrators. I love Gladiator Reapers. The new discount on them is massive. I actually am a fan of this Librarian because it gives the Psychic Fortress to give a 5-up invuln to all these freshly without Armor of Contempt vehicles.
And the Astraeus.
The Astraeus has Void Shields. I don't know if it needs an invuln. But
it has one.
Everyone else certainly needs the invuln.
Yeah.
So here's the question: is the Dreadnought Ball? Now he did say that the point of the list was to have a Redemptor Dreadnought Ball, so I'm loath to remove it.
But
Invictor's
so hot right now.
Invictor's so hot right now. The other thing that I'm not feeling in this list. Forgive me my blasphemy. I'm not feeling the Eradicators.
What's wrong with you, sir? Sir, have you no shame?
I feel like breachable is just not a thing you need to acknowledge.
It's true.
Eradicators are slow. Do you really need a?
I'm feeling a little Lancer. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, 135. You could get a Gladiator Lancer just to complete the trifecta of Tonk. I do want 3 Gladiators here.
That does feel good. I don't know if you need 2 Reapers, but it's probably fine if you do. I think if you go Invictors, you kind of are incentivized a little more to go Lancers because then you have a lot of that anti-infantry covered. Mm-hmm. I love Invictor Warsuits in Iron Hands.
I love Invictor Warsuits as well. So I think here's the question where for WhatAreFrogs, what kind of an Iron Hand list are they trying to build? Guns is the answer, so we're going to skip that part. Guns is the answer. Dev Doctrine's great. We're building an Iron Hand list that shoots people. But do you want to shoot people from a castle or do you want to shoot people while spreading out? Because Invictors aren't very good at the castle. They don't take auras as well because they're not core. And at that point, they're just not as tough as a Dreadnought. But they spread out really well because they can forward deploy, and they're faster, I think a little bit faster than a Redemptor.
They're also 45
They're also
points cheaper.
45 points cheaper.
Now.
But, like, I guess where I'm going with this is, like, I feel like the Redemptors and the Librarian is all like a package deal.
I mean, I get bullying the center with Dreadnoughts. You know, you
do
don't,
like
you
bullying
don't
the
have
center
to
with
explain that
Dreadnoughts.
to me. You know, I love bullying the center with Dreadnoughts. But what I love even more is being able to just go, yeah, turn 1, I'm shooting you. And that's what Invictors do for you. That's what they can help you with.
Love me some Invictors.
I mean, what you could do is try and staple 2 Invictors onto this, right? Try and cut the Eradicators, cut the extra Tech Marine. That gets you an Invictor and 65 points, which if you can find some points in there
That
somewhere.
would have to be an Infiltrator squad down, which I do like Infiltrators, but you could slap some Invictors on this and go full Walker.
Yeah, I mean, that way, if you're not going to have your opponent just hide and you go, I have all these guns and no one to receive my bullets.
No, you can't have that.
You cannot have that. So Invictors go and dig people out, and they got way better offensively because there's no longer Armor of Contempt. All their guns are +1 AP for the entire game, and they reroll ones to hit natively.
Yeah,
Now.
they went from turn 2 on Space Marines get their armor saves to turns 1 through 5 they get a 5-up armor save. And that feels real good, man.
Yeah, the Invictor fires so many shots, it's ridiculous.
I do miss my Invictors.
I know,
Jack,
buddy.
you're gonna get those back on the table for me soon.
Not against me. That's just a fact. I'm not
Right.
I'm not getting shot by Iron Hands. Thank you very much.
Hey, WhatAreFrogs
WhatAreFrogs in the chat. If you have a couple of Invictors sitting around,
waiting to be used,
buddy,
because I feel like
that's the case. Them and the Eradicators.
yeah.
The Gladiator Reapers have me very excited.
Gladiator Reapers I am extremely excited about.
Yeah, it's basically the idea is with the Astraeus, you don't need more sit in a castle shoot, because the Astraeus does that all by itself.
Extremely well.
It just sits. I mean, it moves some, you know, but it
Yeah,
doesn't.
It moves 12 and it flies.
It moves 12 and it flies. It is 13 inches long, as you said, but
It has to fly sideways.
it does kind of drift.
The
Tokyo
Astraeus
drift.
It's the Astraeus drift.
The Astraeus drift. But it has the fire base kind of covered alongside the Reapers. The rest of it wants to enable that by going out and approaching the game from a different angle. So things that deploy forward and then can be already in mid-board, already hunting your opponent down early to force them into your Astraeus and Reapers.
Absolutely. So I think where I would want to go with this in an ideal world is if we cut 3 Redemptors for 3 Invictors, we're getting 45 points back per Redemptor.
135.
So 135, which we double by cutting the Eradicators for 270.
270, yeah.
And that gives you a perhaps a Contemptor Dreadnought.
Kind of want to cut that other Primaris Tech Marine for that would take us up to 340, which
I don't mind the second Primaris Tech Marine. I mean, he's only 70 points.
I mean,
And I feel like one of them is going to be babysitting the Astraeus, and one of them wants to be like going and hanging out with like all the gladiators and healing.
270 can also just be like 2 Lancer. Oh no,
A Lancer
2
and a
Storm
Contemptor.
Speeders.
It could also be 2 Storm Speeders. I do like the speed of the Storm Speeders.
2 Storm Speeder Thunder Strikes would be exactly 270.
Yeah, and this list also doesn't necessarily need the character Contemptor, although he is kind of baller. So
Yeah.
I never like don't want him, but like he doesn't have to be here either.
Yeah, think of the Astraeus as the character Contemptor. Now, when he shoots it, because they're not going to kill it,
Yeah,
so it might as well have character, and it shoots really hard.
it's fair. It's fair.
If you think about it, they're like identical.
Yeah, the Eradicator's there because WhatAreFrogs had 135 points in the list with little to do. They are a good strategic reserves threat, but I gotta say, I am a big fan of Storm Speeders, as Jack mentioned.
Yep.
It's literally the right number.
If you cut Redemptors, the Redemptors down to Invictors, and you cut the Eradicators, you get 2 Storm Speeder Thunder Strikes.
Yep.
And Hammer Strikes are also just, I believe all their weapons are heavy.
They're also heavy. I like the little bit more long range.
I get that, but I'm also a fan of that. I'm a fan of both. Yeah. Hammer Strike's 10 points cheaper, has more firepower, but is closer range.
Yep, and the ballistic.
And it also hits on 3s instead of 2s.
Yep. The Thunder Strike hitting on 2s just goes with Iron Hands so well.
The Thunder Strike is incredible.
Ballistic skill 2 rear 1s to hit is just...
What does the Hammer Strike have on it?
My memory is that it's like a multi-melta and it's like 5 melta shots, except like Maybe it's 3 Melta shots and 2 like damage 3 missile shots or something.
That sounds right to me.
Yeah, and then it probably has like a grenade launcher.
It has a missile destroyer, 2 crack storm grenade launchers, a melta destroyer, and that's it.
Okay.
So it has 2 shots at 36-inch range, 8.33, which is going to be 8.43, which is pretty good. It has 2 shots at 18 at 6.1 D3. That's assault, not heavy. Yep. And then it has a 24-inch range, 3-shot multi-melta.
Yeah, that is 5 good shots, but I think I'd rather have the Thunderstrike.
Yeah, probably.
The ballistic skill 2,
and
longer range.
It doesn't have the missiles, which
Yeah.
I kind of thought this one did.
No, yeah, because the Thunderstrike is one of the best missiles because it has the little missiles that the Redemptor has. It has 2 of those.
Yeah, it has 2 Icarus rocket pods, which
That's
is what I'm talking
yep.
about. So it's got 3 basically las cannons. One of them strength 10, the other 2 are strength 9, and then it has 2 D3 missiles. Yeah, you take Thunderstrikes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you take Thunderstrikes.
Yeah, just hitting on 2s, rerolling 1s, and they're fast.
Yep. Dalton, so that is what we would do with the list personally here. You can drop the Tech Marine to get something in, if you wanted to add a champion or something. I don't know. Probably Tech Marine's better, though. But Dalton Peters asks a very important question for everyone who isn't WhatAreFrogs.
Yes.
He's asking, what would you do if there's no Astreus in here?
If there was no Astreus, at that point, I very much want that character Contemptor in, and I will stop at nothing to get him. Just because the character Contemptor with Iron Hands, you give that guy double Volkites, those are 100% back. You give him the top missile, you spend a CP on March of the Ancients to make him a character. He costs a CP because he's a Volkite, and then you buy him a Warlord trait. So you're spending 3 CP on this guy, and I assure you, he is worth it.
Yeah, that guy
slays.
slays.
The guy slays. And the Warlord trait you give him is exploding 6 to hit and shooting. Well, actually, it's exploding 6 to hit all the time, but shooting is what matters.
Yep.
And that guy will go take care of a lot of problems for you.
Yeah, he hits incredibly hard.
He managed to be a core character vehicle, which is like every keyword you could possibly ask for, which means that this guy's going to be hitting on 2s thanks to the Tech Marine, rerolling 1s. He'll reroll 1s with Wisdom of the Ancients if you ever pop that. Although you probably won't in this list because there's not a ton of core. Just generically amazing shooting. And good strat support as well because you can do the 6s to wound, double wound.
Yeah, 6s to wound, double wound is really good against tough targets because all of a sudden you're just like, bleh, and
Yeah,
just
just
take
a
a bunch
ton
of
of
saves.
AP1.
Yeah, which matters now.
A bunch of saves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That guy looks great. Storm Speeders, WhatAreFrog says I'll give those Storm Speeders a try. Storm Speeder Thunderstrikes and Iron Hands are insane.
I really like. You know me. I've always been big on the Storm Speeders as an early adopter, but now I'm really really happy that they're getting the Doctrine Love and they got cheaper again.
135 for a fast shooting platform that has 2 las cannons, a strength 10 las cannon, and 2d3 strength 7 AP now 2 damage 2.
Yeah. How much do you think a Storm Speeder cost in the printed Space Marine Codex? The Thunderstrike.
Like 170?
I could see it being 170 or 180.
Yeah, you check because now it's 135.
I'm now willing to curious. And 135
it went down to 150, and we were like, "This is a sleeper pick." And then it went down to 135. We're like, "Take it."
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a sleeper pick that you didn't actually have to have, but now it's like, no, it's just good now.
Chris Frozen says, "Good afternoon, guys. New pack data slate is awesome. How many lists have you all been writing? Ha ha, fun! My brain has been a little overloaded recently, and I've been unable to make lists. I'm looking forward to getting ready to it.
I've been making lists all over the place for so many different Space Marine
Every left, right, and center. All right, what do we what do we got? I think 170. I think 170, maybe 165.
175.
175 for the Thunderstrike?
It's down 40 points, and it's got better doctrines. Slam that
in the list. We got a $5 super chat from Peaches the Destroyer. It says, got off work early. First thing I had to do was mention that this list needs more space wolves in it. Like Grimnar on a sleigh. Trust me, Brad would approve.
I believe it. See, you could make this a Space Wolf list, but then would you really want to have an Astreus? I don't know.
No, you wouldn't want most of this in a Space Wolves list. All right, Sebastian, welcome to the War Room. I'm not going to insult you by attempting to pronounce your last name. I concede defeat.
No, that's fair enough.
Yeah. You were like, I can do this better. And then you leaned in.
I wanted to know. But I did want to check before I made such a presumptive assumption.
But so those would be our changes to this list personally. Swap out the Redemptors for Invictors. Drop the Eradicators. Add 2 Stormspeeder Thunderstrikes. That's a lot of shooting. That's a lot of gun.
It is a lot of shooting. Yeah, I know WhatAreFrogs also mentioned a Gladiator Lancer. We think those are amazing, and if you can fit one in, no objections on our end. But I think I'd rather have the things that we mentioned. I like the Thunder Strikes for the speed because the Astreus is already telling people this is one lane of shooting that you cannot stand in.
Yes.
And now I want things that are going to go get the other lanes of shooting because the Astreus is actually not going to shoot that often. It's just 500 points of you're not killing me and get out of the way.
Yes. And then everything else has to be either fast or, advanced deploy or something so that you can cover all the angles the Astreus can't get to. If you don't have the Astreus, that's when I really like 3 Gladiator Lancers in its place. And you still
honestly,
have 180 points.
Oh my god, because it's 375 for 3 Lancers.
Yeah.
Oh,
so you end up with, you could drop the Astreus, grab Character Dreadnought, 3 Gladiator Lancers, and have points left over.
No, the Character Dreadnought's 195.
195?
Yeah, because Volkites went up a while ago, back when we were already not taking them.
Are you serious?
Yeah, Volkites cost more now. It just never went back down.
Okay, well, around the same points cost then.
We'll find 15 points to cut by doing literally anything we want. Honestly, maybe even cut Master of the Forge and just call it a day. You just got 2 guys healing. Who cares?
Who knows?
Yeah, we'd find 15 points. Oh my god, so that would just theoretically for the non-Astreus people, for those of us, myself included.
This list is gross,
who
by
are
the
not
way.
Chad enough to own an Astreus because I myself fall short in this category. So that would be 5 Gladiators total.
Yes.
3 Invictors, 2 Storm Speeders, double Tech Marine Librarian, 10 Infiltrators.
Yes.
That is a good list.
That's a good...
That is a terrifying list.
That's a
God,
terrifying
if I went
list.
second against that...
You just die. You just die.
That is...
I kind of want to drop, a Lancer or a Reaper and get that 3rd Thunder Strike. The Thunder Strikes are so gross in Iron Hands.
The Thunder Strikes in Iron Hands are pretty messed up.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah. Tim G, it looks like they decided no vote. They're just going to do old meta. So unfortunately, LVO is not going to be using any of these rules. But
still worth talking about because there's plenty more events coming up. I am already getting my Adepticon plan ready.
That's right. All right, $5 super chat from Peaches the Destroyer. Grimnar
Peaches.
on Slay, actually worth it as a melee missile now at 160 points, or game's still too deadly for him?
Honestly, 160 is cheap.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
I would take Grimnar if I was playing pure Space Wolves, but I don't know if I would go off Successors just for Santa.
He is, he was already kind of a sleeper.
Yeah, he was pretty good.
I mean, he lost Armor of Contempt, which...
is not insignificant.
Actually, going down to 160 and losing Armor of Contempt is probably a net nerf for him.
Yeah. What was he before?
It's I think 185.
Okay. I think
maybe
160 is just
175.
kind of cheap enough.
Yeah, I'll find out. Unless Wahapedia has already updated. Which they might have. Those guys move fast.
They do move fast.
Logan Grimnar and Storm. Yeah, he's 180.
Okay. Yeah, he's not significantly...
Nah, he's about the same, honestly. Yeah. Probably a little worse. Having a 2-up armor save.
But the nice part is that you get more things around him. Where
the list gets way better around him.
The list around him gets way better, so I can still justify Logan.
Yeah.
So if you yourself love Logan Grimnar, I think you can still hit the table.
Yeah.
Although it's making me think about Calgar, who should also hit the table.
Yeah,
Calgar is actually kind of boss mode. I'm just gonna call it.
Yeah, the points drops on all the characters were awesome because they just didn't take it pain as often as everything else, and so it's like everything else also came down because the characters, whatever. It's great the characters came down. Also.
Yep. All right, we ready for another one here?
Yep,
Let's
absolutely.
Do it. All
right. UltimaArcher.
UltimaArcher has
or
submitted.
UltimaArcher.
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 That's definitely how it is.
That's all possible, yeah.
All right. It should be like a dash in there.
You would think. Or like an underscore.
We are rocking out a High Fleet Gorgon Tyranid list. And that is because Tyranids got hit with a bat in the knee.
The Nerf bat.
Unfortunately, after that, they then dropped the bat, picked up a crowbar, and went for the other knee. And I gotta say it hurts. But again, I still think Tyranids have some good play. So for everyone who's wondering what is happening with High Fleet Gorgon, this is High Fleet Gorgon, and they went for naturalized. I believe they went for naturalized camouflage as their trait. So what we've got here is
Nicholas. The whole time we had.
Hey, it was Nicholas.
List.
Heck yeah! Woo! Awesome. I was honestly like, oh man, I feel bad that we picked the other Tyranid list, but no, we got Nicholas. There you go. UltimaArcher. Let's rock it out. So this is High Fleet Gorgon. What High Fleet Gorgon does is they always wound on a 4+ against the non-vehicle. That's it. So those Hormigons, ragdoll Bellicor. Just like picture that.
I mean, sure.
It's an unmodified. I mean, the list in general, right?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Sure.
But
Tyranids still have a couple armies that they prey on, and one of those is demons. Like, get down here.
yeah. So Hormagaunts have a bunch of attacks. High Fleet Gorgon also has a stratagem where Tyranids come with Toxin Sacs. Often Toxin Sacs is 6 to hit auto wounds. High Fleet Gorgon is 1 CP. It goes to 5s.
That's
So 5s
real
to
good.
hit in combat auto wound. On a weapon skill 4 Hormagaunt, that is extremely effective.
Especially, does he have reroll hits anyway?
The Swarmlord, yes, he does. Swarmlord's a chapter master, so that
so
part's
the Hormagaunts slap.
pretty bop. The Hormagaunts legitimately do hit.
Are they AP1?
They are AP1, I think.
Which is now relevant.
Which AP1 is irrelevant again. Yeah, so no, the Hormagaunts are actually like High Fleet Gorgon Hormagaunts is definitely one of the best directions to take a list that is still alive, I think. I think the High Fleet Gorgon spell is every time you roll a 6 to wound in combat, you deal a mortal wound. However, the auto wounding doesn't pair with that.
Thank God. They learned. They learned. Then they forgot it again. Then they learned it again. Then they forgot it again. And they're currently in the process of learning that mechanics was broken.
That important, but it is nice to have. Yeah, the poison is a nice add-on. Yeah, it's mostly the strength of power. The poison is just every once in a while you play against a monster list and you're like, ha!
Yeah,
what I got.
I'm fighting in 5 places, and in all of them, you're getting wounded on 4s. Enjoy.
Yep. And then the other thing to mention, of course, is that naturalized camouflage means everyone in this list gets double cover. So if they're receiving the benefit of cover that's light or dense, they add 1 to their armor save.
It's real good.
Yep. Which is really nice on the monsters, because a monster in a forest gets +1 save. They just have to be receiving the benefits of cover. From a terrain feature. They can't do it from a special roll. So, all right.
That's a good thing to add.
Yeah, it is. So High Fleet Gorgon has a lot of good rules. And in this list, we've got a Shooting Hive Tyrant, a Neurothrope, a Turvagon, the Swarmlord, 3 units of 15 Hormagaunts, a big Termagant blob. We've got the Warrior unit, a bit of a big one. It's got Flesh Hooks, Toxin Sacs, Scything Talons, Devours. It's got the whole 9 yards. And then a Maliceptor, Pyrovore, and the 3 Venom Thropes and the Parasite. So a lot going on in this one. There's a couple of different things, and I'm not that I want, and I'm not sure what I want to add and what I want to cut.
I want to add Alien Cunning.
Yeah, Alien Cunning on the Parasite and Mortrix does feel important. This list does have a lot of OBSEC, though, because it has 5 different OBSEC units just in the troop choices. Still, I want Alien Cunning on that Parasite and Mortrix. Let me just count the CP here. We've got 1 CP on the Swarmlord, just to unlock him. We've got Pathogenesis. Because you can't have 2 Tyrants in a detachment, so you have to use the new
I see.
So Pathogenesis is 2, Synaptic Tentacles is 3, Maw Claws is 4, Heightened Senses is 5. So this list starts at 1 CP. I would be willing to spend that on the Parasite, and then we can look at whether or not we would keep the starting 5. But, so things that I want in here. I want 1 unit of Tyrant Guard, if I'm being honest. But, I also get why they're not there.
So Nicholas saying that he had, or UltimaArcher is saying that he has the Warlord trait on the Swarmlord, which was not on the list, but or maybe I missed it. It has happened before.
Well, no. I think what he's saying is that the OBSEC trait is that Swarmlord has the ability to give a unit OBSEC.
Oh, I thought he gave rerolls. Does he do both?
He does both. It's two different things.
Oh.
1 unit gets full rerolls to hit. A different unit gets OBSEC.
I see.
I still like it on the Parasite because he usually is going off by himself. The Swarmlord can also give double OBSEC to the Hormagaunts. OBSEC isn't the biggest of concerns here, so this isn't as cut and dry as it would be in Kraken.
Yeah.
Things that I want to add here. I want to have Tyrant Guard, frankly. Otherwise, I feel like the Shooting Hive Tyrant isn't going to get any value.
And they also, do they protect the Swarmlord?
They do as well, but the Swarmlord can just stand out of line of sight.
Yeah, but he would like to walk down the middle, the midline of the table instead of having to walk around buildings.
I also really like naturalized camo on Tyrant Guard, because then they go to a 0 up and cover. And a lot, spoiler alert, by the way, for what's about to happen to the game, is everyone's going to go find their AP 1 and 2 weapons that they stopped bringing, and they're going to start taking them again.
Yeah, they're going to look at, their Hellions and be like, wait, these are real now.
Yeah, and they're going to be like, oh man, these guns are AP1, so much volume, this is awesome. bolt guns with AP1. Woo! Those
Especially
space points again.
AP2, people are going to spam out
Yeah.
AP2. They're not going to feel a need to go up to AP3 or 4 anymore on some units, right? Like every list I make has to have some option to deal with some jerk in cover who is like a 0 up armor save. And so I have to be like, all right, well, here's my token AP4. Well, they might not have that anymore.
Yeah. So here's the couple of things in this list that I really like. Well, let's start with that. I love a Turvagon with Termagants.
Yes.
Turvagon went up in points, but still not that much. I think that the Turvagon and Termagants are great.
Wait, did Hiveguard go up?
Hiveguard went up, yes.
Hilarious.
My brother. I don't know how to tell you this. Hiveguard went up.
Hilarious. They're still paying for how mad they made me like a year ago.
I love the Turvagon. I love all the HQ choices, frankly. The entire HQ section, no notes, perfect. We can look at Warlord traits and relics just to see how it works out, but all of these choices are good. Hormagaunts and Gorgon, fantastic. 15 man is the right size. Toxin Sacs is the right thing to have. You don't really need Adrenal Glands
How
on
many
them.
attacks do they get?
I believe that they're 3 attacks each.
And they do. If you
So
got
45.
adrenal glands and you paid a CP, would they go to 4?
Yes, if you bought Adrenal Glands and did that. However, that's not...
It's expensive.
It's let me see. I think a Hormagaunt is 8 points each. They go to 9 with Toxin Sacs. They go to 11 with Adrenal Glands. Like, I just don't think... It's 30 points a unit. I don't think it fits.
Fair enough.
As much as I really wish it did, it doesn't. But I want the 25 Termagants to be 30, if I'm being honest. The Warriors with Scything Talons are actually still plenty
So
good.
the reason you want that to be 30 is because the difference between the unit living and dying is massive. So having every single body in the unit you possibly can. This is the same reason why you only see 20-man Necron Warrior units. It's anything that can come back to life or punish you for not completely killing it. You want as big a squad size as possible. Because, like, let's say they kill 27 Termagants, right? If they kill 27 Termagants worth of stuff, if you have 25, you just lose the whole unit. If you have 30, like, they all come back. Yeah. And it's horrible for your opponent. I mean, you get, what, like 2d6 plus d3 plus 3?
Yeah, 2d6 plus d3 plus 3 if you want to spend the Turvagon and the CP on it.
Or you can bring back... Is the 10 a whole separate unit, or can it go into an existing?
The 10 is a separate unit instead of healing 2d6.
Got it. As you can tell, I am a Tyranid player.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So going down through it, the Warriors, I'm not sure what I want with them. So I like Toxin Sacs because Gorgon stuff.
Right.
With Scything Talons and Devourers, a Warrior is making 5 attacks with the Scything Talons, so it's 25 attacks, which is really nice. And they're AP1, which is like, not terrible, at least because Armor Contempt is gone. I still think that Warrior squad is a little too beefy, and it isn't providing anything that we don't have. Then the other thing that's sticking out to me like a sore thumb, the Parasite, I actually don't like for the normal reasons, but I like that it's fast synapse and that it gives you the ginormous pylons on Hormagaunts. Because when the Parasite pops its plus 3 inch pylon consolidate, that's to a cap of 9 inches because Hormagaunts are already plus 3 inches. So, like, the Hormagaunts will literally just consolidate 9 inches.
Yep. You did that to me in the middle of a game, and I was like, what? I didn't even know that was a rule.
Tyranids always have Pylon tricks. It's awesome. The Maliceptor is sticking out like a sore thumb to me, though. The Venom Throps are great defense. Because -1 to hit when you get shot is awesome. You've got Naturalized Camo, so your Hormagaunt actually is a 3-up save and cover. They're 5-up armor, plus 2, because essentially the army is Camo Cloaks. And that is actually kind of nice defense into a lot of, like, weight of dice.
Yeah.
It'll help. It won't, save you, but it'll help a lot. The Maliceptor's -1 strength to incoming weapons feels like it's not actually that important.
Not here, no. It's good on toughness 8 stuff because...
Which is like the Hive Tyrants and
I mean,
Turvagon.
to be fair, there is Hive Tyrant, Turvagon, Swarmlord, and Maliceptor, which is like...
it's 4 TA bugs.
It is. I mean, I think if you're taking a Maliceptor, you lean into big bugs.
Yeah.
And if you're taking a bunch of Hormagaunts and Termagants, you lean... And Warriors, too, and you're doing this whole thing, I think you lean into that. Mm-hmm. And what you take instead is... Because the Turvagon can't be shot.
Turvagon can't be shot as long as the Gaunts are alive.
Right.
1 Tyrant Guard means the Tyrants can't be shot.
Right. So then the Maliceptor is not actually helping the T8. And T8 is where the Maliceptor is, like, brutal.
Here's another thing, is that as good as protecting T8 with -1 strength is that I have a meta theory, which is that T8 is going to be built for a lot.
Yes.
Because Space Marines have very cheap gladiator tanks. Lehman Russ are about to roll off the assembly line as soon as this book goes on sale sometime in the next year. Seriously, where's the Codex for Guard? And I feel like T8 is not going to be the sweet spot I want to live in anymore. The Maleceptor does do great mortal wound damage. It's now back to being more cost efficient than Zoanthropes. Synaptic Tendrils off the Neurothrop means that you can buff the Maleceptor very well, so it can do 3d6 casts and reliably get both of its casts to 7s. But I still don't feel like the Maleceptor...
It's a lot of points.
I don't feel like it's the best way to get this job done.
Yeah. It is a lot of points for something that we're not 100% sure that we actually want in this list.
Yeah.
Venomthropes, 100%. We want Tyrant Guard just so the Hive Tyrant and the Swarmlord don't get gatted. And it lets the Hive Tyrant just sit out in the open and pathogenesis people with the heavy venom cannon.
Which I do like that.
Yes, and it lets the Swarmlord just walk up behind the swarm, and then if you want to deal with the Hormagaunts and Termagants and all that, you get swarmied. And nobody wants to get swarmied.
Yeah, no, absolutely no one wants to get swarmied.
Yeah, I agree that 210 for 3 Zoes feels not good.
So criminal.
I
Zoe's got done dirty.
I saw that point change, and I'm not an objective guy. You know, I'm a human being who has thoughts and feelings and emotions. I saw them go to 70 points per model, and I cracked a smile.
Yeah,
it was not fair,
it's ludicrous.
But it's what happened.
I hate it so much.
You know, seeing Zoanthropes, having to deal with Zoanthropes, I'm like, yeah, that's right, you get down there.
Yeah.
But that's you know, that's not healthy for the game, that attitude, but it's, you know.
So,
it's human.
Talking theoreticals here, if we cut the Maleceptor for a Tyrant Guard unit, that would give us 85 points remaining, because Tyrant Guard also went up. I personally would also cut the Warriors down to try to free up some points. If you cut 2 of them, so it's a 5-man warrior, if you cut down to a 3-man warrior, leave the Exploding Sixes option because the Imperative's awesome, then you're getting 60 more points, so we're at 145.
Can you take a second unit?
At that point...
Because Tyrant Guard are crazy.
You could take a second unit at that point. Tyrant Guard love naturalized camo. So there's a couple ways to do this in my mind. 1, take a second Tyrant Guard unit with those points. We already have enough right there. We have 10 points left when we use them to, frankly, throw Toxin Tax on some Tyrant Guard.
How many Tyrant Guard can you take? Just theoretically. Because I don't think we're going there with this list.
We're not. This isn't the kind of list, but theoretically you can take 18.
I think there's definitely should be a Tyranid list that takes 18 of them.
Baller. I just fear for I don't want to invest too much. I don't want that to be my only game plan, because in the times when you play against Iron Hands, it's like, your army's AP5.
Oh no. Usually AP4, but
yeah, but there's
that's enough.
Guns in there, and I don't want it anymore.
Yeah.
AP4 is enough to make me sad.
Yeah, having like one multi-melta wax 2 dudes is just like,
yeah, not when you're paying those points for them. But the other thing that I kind of want in this list, because I do want the mortal wound output of the Maleceptor, but Cytal's on the Tyrant Guard 100%. In Gorgon, you just want the volume. But the nice thing you could do is just take a bucket load of Mucolids, because I want Spore Mines to come back. I'm not even remotely joking here, Jack. Jack's giving me the look. So Mucolid is 20 points, and on a 2-up when you get near it, it does D6 mortals. And on a 5-up,
not the little ones?
No, the big ones.
They're 20 points. Aren't they made of paper?
They're T4, like 4 wounds with a 5-up save, and they fly. You just shove them, and they deep strike for free. You just shove them behind walls, and it's just like hard to approach. Yeah. The Maleceptor is not a bad choice.
It will do
Let me
work.
be clear. I'm not trying to say the Maleceptor is bad. This is how I would change it. But a Maleceptor is a good choice. It's a good unit. And especially with everyone around it going up, the Maleceptor gets better relative value.
Maybe I'll take triple Maleceptor Delvia.
Maybe you will. You can borrow 2 of mine.
Wow. Okay. That's
I'm generous like that.
Yeah. So it's not that the Maleceptor doesn't do work. Maleceptor will do work in your games. It will feel like it's great. It is also 220 points, which you can get a lot of stuff for.
Yep.
So you have to weigh that balance, because there's always units that will do great work but are just pricey. Yeah.
My main fear is that the way the game I expect is going, with Space Marines about to be common and very strong, and then Guard about to come out, is that I don't think that it actually helps you get you're not going to be tough enough. Like a -1 strength T8 Tyranid monster walking up in front of a Guard or a Space Marine army is hilariously dead anyways. It's like, oh, -1 strength. Here's 3 Gladiator Lancer, strength 10, D3 plus 3. Every failed save is like giga bad, and I hit on 2s rolling 1s.
Yeah.
Guard tanks, the same problem.
Yeah. The only part you would want it is not to keep like one big monster alive. It would be like if you have 8 big monsters, then it's harder to chew through them as quickly. But yeah, a lot of things just don't care right now.
That is the danger.
But you know what do care? The Lehman Russ Executioners actually do care. They're strength 8. They go down to strength 7.
Care a lot. But this list is actually pretty good into that anyway because you've got minuses to hit.
It is very good into that. And also, I don't think that a Maleceptor reasonably affects things more than a Tyrant Guard unit.
Yeah.
A Tyrant Guard unit means that your monsters can't be shot, and otherwise the Maleceptor doesn't benefit the Hormagaunts and Termagants and Warriors as much as I would want other things to. Yeah. Like, it does benefit from them. Are Hormagaunts and Termagants toughness?
3.
Toughness 3. So it benefits them against strength, like, 6. It benefits them against strength 4 and 3, but that's just not... I don't want a 220-point model doing that. Yeah. I'd much rather have, like, more stuff in the list.
Yep. So what I think I would ideally like to do is trim the Warriors and the Maleceptor as described, get at least 1 Tyrant Guard unit in, possibly 2, just because Naturalized Camo Tyrant Guard I think are really good. And from that point, I would either take the remaining couple points and get the Termagant squad as high as I can, or I would do 1 Tyrant Guard squad and then invest in a very respectable amount of Euclids, like 3 units of 2. Because you could just make fast attacks your slot of choice and take 4 fast attack slots and call it a day. But like 3x2 Euclids it's just a double super smite behind 3 different walls. Just 2d6 mortals to the first guy who steps up. 40 points.
It's all right.
Yeah,
it's fine.
I think the problem that this list could have is when someone tries to stat check you. Because they're like, oh, you can make 1 Hormagaunt squad hit pretty hard with rerolls to hit and 5s to hit auto wound. And they're like, can you do that in 5 spots? No, now you are the one getting stat checked, Tyranid player.
Yeah, you don't want to get stat checked as the Tyranids.
You can't get stat checked as the Tyranid player.
The Tyranid do the stat checking,
exactly.
Not get stat
checked.
And
like Mucolids behind walls, just deep striking. Because fun fact, Mucolids also deep strike turn 1, I believe. And so I would just...
What's their movement?
It's 4.
So they just drop boop, 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 into the center?
You just drop them in the center, but in the safe spot behind a wall, and you'd be like, if you come close, you get bopped. That's it. They're not as aggressive because you can't deep strike them forward like you used to with Biovores, because that's completely gone. But I still like it just to be boop, boop, boop. Would we rather buff up the Pyrovore some? I'm also 100% in favor of making that a 3-man Pyrovore. Also in favor of that. I love that they can outflank for free. Gorgon Pyrovores are great. So maybe when we cut all this, when we have 135 plus 145, we have 280 points. So we put 1 Tyrant Guard in and we have 145 left. Maybe we take 2 Pyrovores. That's 80 points. And we've got 65 points left. At that point, we could just get the Termagants up to 30-man and then still just put 2 Mucolids in. Yeah. I just like them as like a little bit of like, please slow down. Please don't run at me.
I think they're good for that role.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. But I think this is a really good concept here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do like this. I think Gorgon is the best new direction for Tyranids. It's possible that Kraken is still really good. It's possible that Leviathan is still really good. But I think Gorgon is like the undersung high fleet that is gaining the most from, or that is surviving the best, I should say, from the new changes. It's not gaining anything.
It's gaining market share.
It's gaining market share, yeah.
That's for sure.
Relative value.
All right, let's go on to the next one.
All right, one more. Oh, Jack. You chose Blood Angels.
I did. Of course I chose Blood Angels.
You chose Blood Angels.
I mean, I told you this before the stream. Don't act surprised. We went over all the lists. John's over here being like, oh my god, Blood Angels? Jack!
Well, it's been a while since you've hyped up the Blood Angels, you know?
That's true. It has been, unfortunately. So, Bequan here posted a... we got a $5 super chat from Tim G. Which spam list is more likely to be viable in a Space Marine meta? Custodies with 6x5, or even 10x3 Sagittarum, or Necrons with 8x20 Warriors?
Oh god. I think Sagittarum actually are really good right now. AP1 being a number is very good again.
It is.
And I also like that they get stratagems.
They always did.
Yeah, more than once per game.
That's true. That's true.
No, like Sagittarum are really good, I think.
They're in the troop slot, so they're not like necessary.
Yeah.
But they are better than pretty much all the elite infantry choices. So
Yeah, I would still take Sagittarium after I've taken my 9 Dreadnoughts and my 3. I mean now because there's no reason not to just be like, oh no, you can actually only take 6. 6 Dreadnoughts, 3 Caladius. Oh, what else am I gonna do with my points now that I don't have to pay taxes? Sagittarium, done.
yeah,
It's like actually legit.
well, you can also take 2 bite captains because you spend 1 CP to make that happen.
True.
I think Custodes lists get kind of gross.
I think Custodes are going to actually have some really legit.
Yeah, like
things going on.
double bite cap, 6. I mean 6 Dreadnoughts, 3 Caladius, and you probably still have points left. Like that's so stupid.
This Blood Angel list could use a Triceratops. You're right,
But
T-Rex.
Tim G, I probably one of those. I don't know. I don't know.
I feel like
Spamming of other things though.
yes. So I would say, oh god, I mean that's 160.
Got to be the
warriors.
Necrons.
I think it's the Necron Warriors mainly because I'm pretty sure that mortal wound output is going down across the game with these changes, even if just because Tyranids are dragging the average so high right now.
I cry a single tear every day for you, John.
No, it's great. I get to do this to you at LVO.
It's I'm gonna scream when I play against
Oh.
anything that got nerfed in the
99
new update.
red balloons, yeah, with your list that got nerfed.
I'm also going to be playing a list that got nerfed. I'm not gonna like it.
Attaboy. I would say Necron Warriors is more likely of those two, but I do think that some Sagittarium for Custodes is going to be really, really strong. I don't think you need to go the full 30, although I respect it if you want to game that way.
That's a lot of bullets.
It's a lot of bullets, man.
It's a lot of bullets.
Well, AP1 ignore cover, real ones to hit, real ones to wound is like, it's pretty
Oh,
good.
because you take the banner
Yeah,
of giving
at
them all
that point,
ignores
AP1
cover.
ignore cover is like, you know.
Ba, 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 ba.
ba, ba.
Ba, 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 ba,
Yeah, and then
ba,
you're
ba.
going to find one Votan player and scream, but, other than that, you're fine.
All right, so this is an old list. I updated the points so we can see where we're at with the new points, and then we're gonna update the list a little bit to fit into an Arcs of Omen detachment because this was built for a battalion. Okay, so looking at this list, we've got Astorath, Dante, Sanguinary Priest. No notes. The 3 troops I don't think need to be there because they don't need to be there anymore. You're not required to
you
take 3
definitely don't need 3 of them.
No.
I would actually make an argument to keep an infiltrator squad in.
We're probably going to end up doing that because all my Blood Angel lists I build kind of run out of points. I kind of run out of slots, sorry. The Judiciary and the Sanguinary Ancient go to free slots, so you actually end up with 2 extras, which means you can get rid of these stupid Vanguard veterans and bring in the Chad.
Death Company?
Death Company, thank you.
I know where you were going there. The Chad Death Company.
The Chad Death Company.
Van Vets are still really good, though. So how many points is a Van Vet? Just no warrior at all.
20.
Okay, with jump pack, I apologize.
23.
23. And how much is a Death Company with a jump pack?
23.
Oh, so they're the same.
Yes.
Okay. They're the same number of attack space.
No, the Death Company have 1 more.
Yeah, I mean like base.
Base,
yeah.
yes.
Death Company get a charge bonus. Death Company get a 6 at Film Pain.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. You're paying.
They're the
All
same,
right.
right? It's 23 points for a power
So if you're
weapon.
not buying a Storm Shield.
Yeah, it's 23 points for a power weapon and Inferno pistol for both of them, Death Company and Vanguard Vets.
So it's Combat Squad is what you're giving up your extra attack and 6 at Film Pain
Yeah,
for.
that's why I took Vanguard veterans in all my lists, was because I just needed something that could combat squad.
Yeah. Could we... I just trying to, stay involved in the Blood Angel chat before Jack takes it over completely. Do you think we could do 5-5-10 Death Company? Just like a full 20 of them?
We could. We totally could.
Because that's 460, which is like cut a troop choice.
Yeah, we totally could. Yeah.
Okay.
So looking at this, the Judiciary, I personally want him with
6 inch orc.
the 6-inch orc. I was trying to remember the name, but it's like Ardent Fervor or something. The Sanguinary Ancient, love him. Sanguinary Priest, love him. This list starts at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Starts at 1, which is fine. It's fine. It's acceptable. I like the Judiciary there. I like how everyone's kitted out. The troops, I think, is going to go down to 1 to 2 infiltrators. Probably just 1.
Yeah. I think we can... So let's start by... I think the Assault Intercessors are definitely out, right?
Yeah.
As much as I love them.
They're awesome, but
Yeah.
no,
With
they're
that
gone.
free Thunderhammer that they're about to get, still out.
Yes.
So now we are going to 170 points free.
Yeah.
which if we cut the 10 Van Vets, we're at 440.
We are.
Okay, I could do that math real fast.
Yep.
That's,
I
know where this is going.
personally really like units of 7 Sanguinary Guard instead of 8. But if you've got them, flaunt them, I guess.
Yeah.
And then everyone gets Inferno Pistols. What I want to create points for...
Oh my god, these lists are 2 times Inferno Pistol instead of just 8 times?
Yeah, because this was old list.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. Well, new list is going to be more. What I really want here... Mm-hmm. Hear me out. 2 Ball Predators.
Yeah.
Ball Predators
reasonable.
got way, way better. Like, way better. Their loadout went from 160 to 110. Their loadout that you would actually take beforehand went from 150 to 110. And now they don't have to suffer Armor of Contempt on the other side with all their AP1 guns.
Yeah.
They're just a twin assault cannon, 2 heavy bolters, a storm bolter, and a hunter killer missile for 110. Just...
ludicrously cheap, by the way.
2 of those, yeah. 2 of those just sit there and shoot away. I mean, honestly, I could consider taking 3 in my list. Like,
Are
really
they
good.
heavies?
Yes.
Okay. They're a Predator, but they were fast in like 5th edition the last time I played a game with Blood Angels, so I was curious.
You could also take 2 Gladiator Reapers.
150?
Yeah.
That is better than a Ball Predator, but like, oh man, 110 is a really nice thing.
Yeah, Ball Predators are cheap.
Yeah.
And because all their war gear became free. So they went from 110 for a Flamestorm cannon with D6 shots to all of those guns I just described. If you take 2 of those, that's super cheap. It's 220, and you're not losing out on all the bolters that your troops now no longer have because you're cutting troops, and your Sanguinary Guard no longer have because they all have Inferno Pistols.
Yeah, you do still want a little bit of anti-infantry because if there's 10 guardsmen on objective, you want to have an answer besides charge it with 8 Sanguinary Guard.
Yeah. So if you... Let me do some math really fast because I'm kind of also doing my own list right now. If you do Asterath plus Dante plus the Sanguinary Priest who went down 5 plus 1 squad of Infiltrators, honestly, that guy can just... They can just be like... they need something to hold your backfield with OBSEC and then... leave, and then you don't have to hold your backfield anymore.
They are still T7, which makes me sad because I
Yes.
think there is some hopes that that Games Workshop would make the Predators T8 the way a Chaos Space Marine Predator is T8. That was something that I had personally been eyeballing, like maybe, and it didn't happen at all. Made me very sad. But this was like the first big balance slate since then, so I was hoping. But at this point, they may just be waiting until the next Space Marine Codex, whenever.
Okay, so if you have Asterath, Dante, Sanguinary Priest, 1 squad of Infiltrators, Judiciar, Sanguinary Ancient, 777 Sanguinary Guard, 5 Death Company with Power Axes Inferno Pistols, 5 Death Company with 5 Hammers, and 2 Ball Predators, you have 15 points left.
That's pretty solid.
Yeah.
So you're up to that's 15 Death Company. Still pretty good.
Yeah, you're 15 Death Company, 21 Sanguinary Guard. All but 5 of them have Inferno Pistols because the Thunderhammers take up both hands.
Obviously, yeah.
And then you have a squad of Infiltrators. You have 5 characters.
Honest question.
Yeah.
Would you rather have a Thunderhammer or a Power Fist and an Inferno Pistol?
Power Fist still cost, FYI.
What's that?
Power Fist still cost.
Yeah, but like less, right?
I don't know. I like
The Inferno Pistol's free.
mostly the Thunderhammer's just there to tell people, "Oi, back off, mate."
Yeah, but like I'm like
Yeah,
how much less is a
5
Power
points.
Fist? So you'd gain 25 points. You'd have 1960 at that point.
Yeah.
which is now enough to just ox in a because ox don't cost CP anymore. A Voidsman at Arms unit.
Yes, you could, and that does sound really good.
Yeah, like I don't know.
Voidsmen at Arms right now are pretty stupid.
Arms right now are kind of.
They went down to 40, which they didn't mark it as a points change, but and they're not OBSEC anymore, I believe.
They have to be in a detachment to be OBSEC, and because all troops in a Space Marine battalion or patrol are OBSEC.
Can they be in the?
They can't be in the Arc Zone, and they can only be in a battalion or patrol.
So they're no longer OBSEC.
So they have to be an Ox.
Yeah. So,
But
but if you
40
take an
40
Ox,
points
you just
is-
hold your backfield objective while the rest of your army
Yeah.
goes and does
Yeah,
things.
Infiltrators take your expansion. Voidsmen hold down your home base. Jump pack guys do everything else. Predators kind of screen the middle while they're shooting.
Yep.
I feel like I
That
can do
list is
5
good.
I feel like 5 Power Fists and 5 Thermal Pistols is not 25 points worse than Thunderhammers.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
No, it's not. You could also, if you don't want to take Voidsman, you can also just start handing out Power Fists to the rest of your to the rest of your Death Company. Also, as many Sanguinary Guard as you want can take a Power Fist.
Yeah, which, up to you.
Some amount. I don't
even think it's necessary, but it's good.
Super not necessary. The Power Axe, or the Angelus, whatever, the Encarming Axe. Thank you. The Encarming Axe is real good, because you hit on 2s when you're near Dante. You hit on 2s when the Sanguinary Ancient tells you to do a thing. And there's a certain amount of, if your buffs fall apart, the fact that they still hit on 3s is good.
That is the nice
thing. Because if your buffs fall apart, suddenly your army starts hitting on 4s and stops doing damage. It's not great.
Yeah, like if you randomly lose Dante to something stupid early, it's like, oh.
Now my Sanguinary Ancient means 1 unit gets to hit good. It's like, great. You fail your chant for real hits on Astrath, and you're just like, Murr.
Yeah, GG.
Yeah.
All right.
So that's probably where I would go. Yeah, one with Inferno Pistols and Power Fists, and then take a random unit on the backfield. High five, buddy. And you still get 2 Ball Predators in that list.
That's disgusting, actually.
Like, I just forgot. You get 15 Death Company, 21 Sanguinary Guard, 5 characters, a unit of troops, a unit to hold your backfield objective, and 2 Predators.
That's great.
That list sounds awesome.
Sounds really, really good. Let's hit some of these super chats real quick.
Absolutely.
First up, we've got Inception418. Thank you so much for the super chat. We really, really appreciate you. And what they have to say, this is a Jack question if I ever saw one. Any reason to keep using Sun Sharks? Could one be worth it as a shooting reserve threat?
Personally, I don't think so.
Really?
Yes.
I feel like Sun Sharks are good.
Really?
Yeah.
They have to go in reserves.
Yeah, but like half the time they'll get 1 reserves anyway.
Yeah, but I'm never happy about that. This is even if you go first, you sacrifice all your pressure, which you need pressure if you're going first. So there's that. It's also, like, a lot of the time I would fly off and bomb and fly off the board. But the problem is you need the ability to go in. Yeah. Like, you're not going to use it all the time, but you need that ability. I think 3 Crisis Suits went up again. Maybe the Sun Shark's worth it at that point.
Without Armor Contempt, they still hit pretty hard. They hit harder than before. They're good at killing Marines.
They do. They hit hard. And also, Tau kind of have a lack of units that are good. Like their selection pool is not deep.
Yeah, I'm personally still afraid of Sun Sharks. I think that they're worth taking. But they're definitely, you don't have to. They're not better, but honestly, I don't think they're really worse.
If you're looking at them as a reserve threat, if you're looking at them to solve the people hiding behind walls thing, I personally like 5 Crisis Suits with 2 Airburst Frag each, the multi-trackers, and the target locks. That unit hits. It went up 5 points each, so it's 350 now. Yep. Pretty clean swap for the 2 Sun Sharks. If you're looking as a Deep Strike reserve threat, the Sun Sharks are fine at that. They're not amazing because they can't come down, drop a marker light, and shoot and get the benefit of the marker light, and they don't get the benefit of the marker light from Farsight Enclaves. Yeah. And if you're running Farsight Enclaves, the 3-mans, when they come down, can reroll hits and wounds, which is a big deal. It's 2 CP, but you bring it down, you real hits and wounds, you kill something. Yeah. But that they have gone up quite a bit. You know, the 3-mans are now, I would never take a 3-man, but I also probably wouldn't take a Sun Shark as a Deep Strike reserve threat.
Sad times.
I don't know. Every time I think about a Deep Strike reserve threat, I just go, would a good player let me Deep Strike this and hit something? And the answer is just no. Yeah,
but like you can also just Deep Strike in your backfield and then be a plane on turn 3.
Yeah, you do get that, but like, I don't know. You can still take them, I think is the takeaway here. They're fine.
Welcome, Mr. Griphonics. Welcome to the War Room. Appreciate it.
And then last up, we have a $5 super chat from Peaches the Destroyer. So who has the better Assault Marines, Blood Angels or Space Wolves? I say Space Wolves, 3 free Meltas and a Power Fist for only 90 points. They have 4 attacks each on the charge. Ah woo. Well, Blood Angels get 3 free Meltas as well. So and they get a Power Fist, and they have +1 to wound, and they have 5 attacks each on the charge.
5? They're 2 base Chainsword Blood Angels.
Shock Assault.
Sorry, they're 1 base Shock Assault Chainsword Blood Angels.
Oh, sure. Well, then Space Wolves have 3 attacks on the charge.
No. Blood Claws have a special rule in Space Wolves only, not in Successors, only in pure Space Wolves for +1 attack on the charge, not when charged.
Then they're very equivalent.
They're very equivalent. I
like +1 to wound.
Yeah, +1 to hit's pretty good. They both have good doctrines. I would say that Space Wolf Assault Marines are genuinely worth taking.
Yeah.
which is crazy.
Well-
Although I still think they're better as a successor because I want more Exploding Sixes and Master Artisans for my Meltaguns.
Yeah. He didn't say, by the way, Blood Claws. He said Assault Marines.
That is true, but they gained the keyword Blood Claws or something.
Sure. But the point is, I think Space Wolves, I think they're very equivalent. Mm-hmm. And I think Space Wolves are, you would take them because Vanguard Veterans got worse.
Yeah, Space Wolves need them more.
Space Wolves need them more. Blood Angels super don't need them. Look at the list we just made.
Yeah, do you have flying infantry with Meltaguns?
Let me think. Yes.
Yeah, okay, there we go.
Yes. That Blood Angels list actually rocks super hard.
Yeah, that's like terrifying. I'm like looking at that, I'm like, oh, it's so many dudes and they all hit hard.
And then I also have a little dooders scooting around and shooting infantry off the board.
Yeah. So what's your plan for buying 30, like 50, whatever, like fusion pistols?
I don't actually own a Blood Angels army. Now's a good time to start.
Fair enough. I think this is the time where we take all of the holsters that come in the Intercessor kits, slap them on every single Death Company, and be like, see?
Here's a
Inferno
pistol.
pistol's in his pocket.
Yeah, you can't tell what kind of pistol it is because it's in the holster, but it's an Inferno pistol.
Everyone's got a pointing hand making a finger gun, and then an Inferno pistol in the pocket.
Yeah. I mean, all of the Blood Angel models here are Siegs, and it would be dope to build a little... I have some. I have Dante I converted. I have some Sanguinary.
Yeah, you got some good stuff.
Yeah.
Right on.
All right. Well, I think that's the lists fixed for today.
There we go. Well, we're going to have to come back next week because there were a lot of lists that perhaps have not been fixed yet. And I saw some people asking how they get their list fixed. We got to tell them, right?
That's right. That's right. We certainly do.
So you can get your fixed list by going to the Art of War Discord. That's where we have it. And to get in the Art of War Discord, you just have to be a member of the channel. So please, please, please give this video a like. Maybe even comment on it. Tell Jack that he's the most handsome member of Art of War and that his beard is probably better than mine. But make sure that you comment, do all of the good things, and go back to the War Room. You can find a link for that right below to our website. And by becoming a member of this YouTube channel or by joining the War Room, you get access to the Discord. The Discord is where you can post your lists if you want to see them fixed. All right.
All right.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Bye-bye.